a time or two. Let's take a look at her out on the track there for Bill Mott.
She's running the Breeders' Cup Turf. She ran against the boys the last couple of years, and the decision to do that was solely based on the distance. Filly Mare Turf the last 2 years been running 1.25 miles, and the turf at 1.5 miles. This year, being here, she gets the 1 3/8 miles, so she takes on her own sex here. You know what you get with her, Christina. Nothing's changed in 7 years, pretty much. Time and time again, she runs a similar race. She's, can sit off the pace if it's slow, but she likes to sit and just come with that one sustained run. She's
a model of consistency out there, not only in her training in the mornings, but in the afternoons as well. And she is one that, you can just expect that big effort from her each and every time. Junior Alvarado, her regular pilot. I did hear some news this morning. I was listening to Nick Luck's podcast. Emily Upjohn is going to run in the turf against the boys. So that definitely changes this race quite a bit. I mean, one of the main competitors who is cross-centered in both races electing to take on the boys. That makes the job for Warlike Goddess and many of them much, much easier. And she's also going in some draw reins.
Yeah, she's done that for a long, long time. Those draw reins, you see that piece of equipment, that's a strap that goes, it's attached to the girth, goes through the rings, and it gives the rider more leverage, and it induces a head carriage to what you're seeing here, a big arched head carriage. And what that does, if a horse is a little bit aggressive, very aggressive, I think this is kind of weird. She's very aggressive in her slower paces, but she's a middle distance horse that doesn't really have a lot of speed. So in her slower paces, she gets aggressive. The draw reins gives the rider more leverage, keeps the horse's head down so they can't lift up the head and run off. And it also, when a horse assumes that posture in exercise, it also increases muscle tone in the rear end. It helps them use their back end a lot more. Rather than pull with the front, they're pushing with the back end. That's what you want to see. And at the age of 7, she looks phenomenal. Hats off to the owners, George Krikorian, for keeping her in training. You wouldn't see that. How many 7-year-old mares with this resume or colts have you seen in training? It's great.
And
great
look
for
at
the
her
game.
react, too, to the rider just kind of standing up in the saddle. She clearly wants to do more. Still has a lot of enthusiasm and gusto out there for her training. If you did remove those draw lanes, turn her loose, she'd be ready to take off right now.
Head would come up. But she's in my own assessment, I call her a very classic filly, the way she looks. Very elegant, neck bowed, kind of long legs, a little bit of daylight underneath her, and you can see. To me, she looks like a horse that should be in a George Stubbs painting. Right?
Yes, absolutely. Beautiful, beautiful 7-year-old mare. Daughter of English Channel. She's out of the North Light mare, Misty North. Was bred by Calumet. George Krikorian has had a wonderful campaign with her. She's 12 for 22 lifetime.
So there's a look at